Morning, it's Jeff Williams from Veterans United Against Suicide. This is Madge. Hello, Madge. Say hello, Madge. Good girl. I really wanted I've had a lot of people contact me after my paper article about the Falklands War, which is very topical at the moment. There's been a couple of good television programs which I've not got to watch yet, if I'm brutally honest with you. I do find it hard to watch it, but I am looking forward to it. I am going to do it. I'm going to force myself to do it. But I thought I took this opportunity to, like I say, a lot of people have come to me and said, tell us a bit more. Obviously, with tip of the iceberg, what we've discussed so far. So I thought I would talk about the end of the campaign, which came so suddenly, really, for a lot of us. I remember the signal going out that the white flag is flying over Stanley, and we all looked at each other and went, is that it? Obviously, there's an awful lot more work to be done in regards to rounding all the Argentinians up, getting them to de-armed and all the rest of it. Remember organising working parties to, one, escort them up to the air base or the airport, where they camped out for a couple of nights while we completely de-kitted them, and then they went on Canberra and repatriated back to Argentina. I remember, returning, and all the it was just amazing. It was just, all the celebrations. Everyone was really, really happy. Hang on, Madge, come on, be good. But when I got back, I drove into, or we drove in coaches to Bickley Barracks, and we arrived there. And like I say, it was get the weapons put away, and try and get away as quickly as possible. We had our families with us and everything, but there was things that needed to be done, and they were done. And I remember going up to my sergeant major, who hadn't deployed, and he went, I've got some news. Where are you going? I said, going on leave, sir. Everyone's got 3 weeks leave, haven't they? He said, yeah, they have, but you haven't. I went, what? I said, no, you're not going anywhere. I said, oh, great, what's the matter? He said, well, if you remember, I had this conversation with you before you deployed. You begged us to go. You were due to go on your senior command course at Lympstone, and I told you that if you didn't go, it would hinder your career, because you'd be your seniority would be affected as a sergeant. And I said, yeah, but I said at the time, sir, I'm not bothered. And I really wanted to go. They were my guys. I've worked with them a long time, and I wanted to go. Forgot all the advice my dad ever gave me about never volunteer for anything. But I'm really pleased that I went. And he goes, well, that's good, because you're not going on leave. He said, you're going on your senior command course. So the whole unit deployed. This were thinned out. People went all over the country back to their families. Sometimes some people went abroad. And I went on my senior command course. I thought, great. No preparation, except for the Falklands, which is the best preparation, really. And there was 3 of us that I remember. There might have been 4, but the 3 I remember was me, Mick Eccles, and I think it was Dozy Day. And Mick had won the military medal in the Falklands with Sharkey Award, and I think what's his name now? Al. I'll remember in a minute. Anyway, we gets a couple of days to pack, and then we make our way down to Lympstone. Now, one thing that sticks in a lot of people's claw, and I really get it, was the disappointment of so many Royal Marines who didn't go because they were in training functions or they were doing other operations around the world. And there was a lot of upset about it. So imagine we marched through the gates at at Limpston, ready for our sergeant's course. And we were met by two ways of thinking about it. There was people that wanted to know about it and what we'd done and all the rest of it. But there was others that were like, I don't know about it. I didn't get to go, and I'll never forgive myself and all the rest of it. I say, what? So anyway, day one of the sergeant's course, we all fell in outside the senior NCO training block, and absolutely immaculate. And the training team they came out and they introduced themselves to us. And this is what they said. Right, you lot. Especially, no, sorry, that's not true. First thing they said was, who went to the Falklands prove? So I think about 10 of us, probably, out of 20 or 30 on the course. And we proved, yeah, that's me, yeah. Right, you lot. We want no mention of the Falklands. I thought, oh, that's nice. We didn't get to go and were hacked off about it, so not happy. So, but also I want you to remember, guys, that our training methods and the way that we've prepared you enabled you to do what you did in the Falklands, and we're proud about that. So that's where I was. I was sat in this situation thinking, do you mention it, do you not? Guess what happened? First patrol we did on the senior command course, training team came up to us and went, what do you do in the Falklands? We did a wood clearing. What do you do in the Falklands? Are you scared to say anything in case, anyone that's been on one of them courses will understand you don't step out of line. You've got to be on the ball 100%. So it was sort of reluctance. Well, actually, we did this, sir, or sergeant, or colours, or whatever it was. So there was a lot of that going on. But at the end, you've got to admire the people that do training and prepare people in such an effective way to do what they need to do. And eventually, one story while we were on the course as well. The difference between guys who had just come back and the guys that hadn't. I'm not saying they're tougher or anything like that, but I remember this one day, we'd done troop attack, all day, one after another, and all we kept doing was changing the troop officer and the troop sergeant, right, your troop sergeant this time, Williams, whatever the case may be. Back and forwards I can't even remember where we were, I think we're on the moor or somewhere like that. It was absolutely knackering. The enemy would engage you, you'd set up, right flanking operation and a gun group to the right and all the rest of it. But it was raining. Well, it wasn't just rain, it was Dartmoor rain. It was absolutely straight down. But honestly, it was nothing like what it was in the Falklands. The weather was just horrendous. So we remember we eventually had a break. It was about lunchtime and the hay box came out with the food. And we all sat round this hay box and they started dishing out this stew. Me, Mick and Dozy just sat out in the rain. My mess team, every time I took a spoonful of food, it was filling up. I had like unlimited supply of food because it just kept filling up with water. I'd wish it around and keep necking it. And it was hilarious and we were just giggling about it. And the training team come over and went, get on the cover. I said, nah. And they said, you're mad. I said, we are mad. We haven't even decompressed yet. So that was always a funny story that me and Mick and Dozy used to tell. And obviously was successful. And before I knew who it was, I had my 3 tapes on my arm. So that's the little story about me, the Falklands, the senior command course at Limpston. And I'm sure other people have got tales that are very similar. But the Falklands will always be a big part of my life. I'm finding it quite emotional at the moment, 40 years down the line. It is hard. And I think the saddest thing is that, you always reflect on the people that didn't come back. And that's the hardest part about any operation. Yeah, immense pride about what we achieved, but a deep sadness about the guys that didn't come back. And the brutality of war, you know, it's horrendous. Why anybody would want to go to war? No, I shouldn't say that, because there's people that do want to do it, and you know, I I enjoyed it. It was what I've been trying to do. I actually enjoyed the Falklands. It's only now I've had time to reflect, and I'm an old guy, and I've got grandchildren. I wouldn't have seen them if I'd been taken out, and that's hard. And you know, it goes back to the PTSD thing, really. You know, you can see why so many people suffer, and that's why my heart's in it. That's why I want to do it. That's why I don't get paid to do it. That's why I'm a volunteer. That's why I set Veterans United Against Suicide up. I've had people say I do it for the glory. There's no glory in it. What glory is there? What have I got out of it? Absolutely nothing. But I'm proud. I'm proud of what we've achieved. And I'm proud of what we continue to achieve. And people will take cheap shots at you all the time. But it's because they ain't got the bottle to say it to your face. But anyway, there's a little story about the Falklands for you. It's 11 minutes of your life you want to get back. But it's true, from the heart. Look after yourself. If you're struggling out there, guys, please reach out. You know, the numbers are at 18 now, which is horrendous this year. It's on par with the last 2 years, which is not good. And the last one was extremely sad, where the father actually posted the death, and he'd lost his other son in Afghanistan. So he's lost two sons. And the reason you know, the father's blaming the fact that the PTSD, the repair mechanism, you know, the treatment mechanism is not being done in a timely manner because of shortages and lack of funding. Okay, that's me. Look after yourself. Thank you. Bye-bye.